Yo, what's up, y'all? I was reading Acts chapter 5 earlier this morning, and I just knew I was going to make a video about it. So here tonight, I'm going to make a video. So I'm going to read it for y'all. Ananias and Sapphira, Acts chapter 5. But there was a certain man named Ananias who with his wife Sapphira sold some property. He brought part of the money to the apostles, claiming it was the full amount. So this dude's lying, right? Anyway, claiming it was the full amount with his wife's consent, he kept the rest. Then Peter said, Ananias, why have you let Satan fill your heart? You lied to the Holy Spirit, and you kept some of the money for yourself. The property was yours to sell or not to sell, as you wished, and after selling it, the money was also yours to give away. How could you do a thing like this? You weren't lying to us, but to God. So the Holy Spirit literally got this dude and caught him lying, right? So the Holy Spirit knows everything. God knows everything. So we can't, we got to keep in mind that if we try to lie to somebody, God sees that. God sees us where we are and sees if we're lying or not. That's why we got to just be honest, because God sees everything, and we will all be held accountable for the things and the sins we do. All right. As soon as Ananias heard these words, he fell to the floor and died. Mind you, this is the New Testament. Everybody talks about the Old Testament. Not Jesus. God was just striking people down, right? But nah, this is the New Testament. He just said he fell to the floor and died. Everyone who heard about it was terrified, of course. So verse 6, then some young man got up, wrapped him in a sheet, and took him out and buried him. About 3 hours later, his wife came in, not knowing what had happened. Peter asked her, was this the price you and your husband received for your land? And she said, yes, she replied, that was the price. And Peter said, how could the two of you even think of conspiring to test the Spirit of the Lord like this? He's saying, how would you even why would you even try to debate or test the Holy Spirit's power when they know everything? God is omnipresent. He's outside of time and matter and space. He's outside of all of that. That's why he can know everything. He created time, space. The young man who buried your husband are just outside the door, and they will carry you out too. Instantly, it says instantly, verse 10, she fell to the floor and died. When the young men came in and saw that she was dead, they carried her out and buried her beside her husband. Great fear gripped the entire church and everyone else who heard what had happened. I think it's so interesting that God put this in the Bible. It's only like 11 verses. This guy really thought he would get away with lying, but the Holy Spirit seen through that. He seen that he was lying. How many of us today have thought we got away with lying, or think we will get away with lying? Even if the person doesn't see it, the Holy Spirit still sees it. God still sees it. So when we get judged, what's going to happen? Everything in the darkness that we did in the dark will be brought out in the light. So we got to be careful in what we do. And so, yeah.